What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be ranking every NFL QB this season. We don't only have starters on here because we're not sure completely who's going to start for each team. As you can see, we got a couple for each team. We got Fields and Wilson, DeVito and Flacco. Then we got Zach Wilson and Bo Nix, because we're not completely sure who is going to start for each of those teams. But let's get straight into it. First up, we have Caleb Williams on the Bears. Now, some of these rookies are going to be hard to rank because we haven't seen them play in the NFL, so it's not completely fair to them. But all we can go off of is how they did in college, their team around them, the receivers they have. That'll definitely help them out. But Caleb Williams, he's on the Bears. Obviously a Heisman winner in college, but that doesn't always translate to the NFL. So honestly, I don't think I can put him any higher than C or any lower than C because we don't know if he's going to be a flop or not. We'll have to see, though, as this season goes on. Next up, we have Tommy DeVito, QB for the New York Giants. And honestly, I might have to put him F tier. I mean, man, Tommy DeVito, I don't think he deserves a starting job. He definitely doesn't. He's not the future for the Giants. They've got to move on from him, but yeah, definitely an F-tier QB there. Next up, we have Drake May. All right, we haven't seen Drake May play yet, so this is tough, but I don't think I can put him as high as Caleb Williams because he doesn't have as good of a team as Caleb Williams. Not saying the Bears are great, but they are definitely better than the Patriots. Since I haven't seen him play yet, I don't want to put him F-tier because, I mean, we've seen how other QBs play on the Patriots, and it's not very good. For example, just this past season with Mac Jones, it did not go very well. And really, every QB that goes to the Patriots are a flop, at least in the past couple of years. So I'm going to put him D tier just because I don't think he's going to do super well because he is on the Patriots. Next up, we got Joe Flacco. Okay, can't believe Joe Flacco's still in the NFL, honestly. I grew up watching him, and he is still here. He's got to be like 37, 38, maybe even around close to 40 now. He should definitely retire. He's washed. I think he's a backup anyways, but D tier is where he will end up. Next up, Justin Fields. Okay. I'm a Steelers fan. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that. But Justin Fields, I'm going to give my honest opinion on him. I think he is good enough to be a starter, and I think he is a better quarterback at this moment than Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson a couple years ago, I would probably take him over Fields. But honestly, what the Steelers need right now is a good, young, mobile quarterback, and we were looking for that a couple years ago, and we ended up getting Kenny Pickett, and that didn't turn out very well. So I am just afraid that maybe he'll end up like Kenny Pickett, which I do not want to happen. But he did decent on the Bears, but I feel like the only thing that was holding him back from being great on the Bears was the team around him, and he didn't have a great team there. He didn't have any great coaches, didn't really have too many targets. He had a couple good ones, but not too many targets. Honestly, I think Fields could be great this year if it just depends on how it goes, because he might not even get the starting job over Wilson. I think he should, but we will have to see what will happen this season. I'm very excited to see how it plays out. Next up, we got Bryce Young. Okay, Bryce Young on the Panthers, not on a good team at all, so it's not completely fair to him. But Bryce Young didn't have a great rookie season last season. This year, will it be better? I think it'll be a little better now. He's a little experienced. He knows how it goes down in the NFL. But honestly, I don't think he's a great quarterback. I think he's a little bit of a bust. I don't think a huge bust, but I don't think he is great. I'm going to put him C tier. I think that's a decent spot. All right, Sam Howell is next. Sam Howell, okay, another rookie, so this is tough. I believe he went to North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. You can fact check me on that one. But I think he went to North Carolina, and he's on the Seahawks now, so he might even be a backup behind Geno Smith. We're not completely sure how that'll play out, but for now, I mean, he could be a backup. Even if he gets the starting job, I don't think he's going to do great. I think he was picked in like the 3rd round this year, so Honestly, D tier. We haven't had any A or S tier QBs yet. Trust me, we will get a couple of those though. And here we go. Mahomes. Okay. No question, Mahomes, one of the best quarterbacks. Definitely the best quarterback of our generation. On track to be one of the greatest of all time. I don't know if he can pass Brady. We'll have to see. But 3 Super Bowls for him already is insane. And we will see how his career plays out. But no question here. Mahomes has to be an S tier QB. He's the best QB in the NFL. And I am not even close to being a Chiefs fan. I'm just trying to be unbiased here. Mahomes is a insanely good quarterback. And he deserves S tier for sure. And next up we have Aaron Rodgers. This is tough once again because he got injured last season and didn't play barely at all. So it's tough to rank him because he is getting older. We couldn't see him play last year, so we don't really know if he's washed or not. I think C tier's a good rank for him right now because all time in his whole career he is a great quarterback. But we just need to see if we'll see that side of Rodgers come out or if we'll see the older, washed side of Rodgers. But we'll have to find out. And next up, we got Bailey Zappi. Okay. Bailey Zappi on the Patriots did not play very well last season. And honestly, he might have to go F tier. But I feel like if we put May D tier. No, I think that's fair because we haven't seen May play yet. So Zappi, we have seen him play, and he's not very good. So I'm going to put him F tier with Tommy DeVito. Next up, we have Tua Tagovailoa. Obviously, he's got an incredible team around him. The fastest NFL team in the league. Tua, though, himself, he's got so many targets to throw to help him out. I mean, you think Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. He's got great running backs to help him out. He's got a decent O-line. So he has a young coach, too. I think Tua, honestly, might be A tier just because of the help he has on that team. And I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but I don't think he's incredible. But I think his stats are going to be really, really good this season because of the team around him. So many targets on that team that can help him out. Next up, we have Will Levis on the Titans. We've seen him play a little bit, and, I mean, he didn't do anything insane, but he did do decent. I mean, honestly, I'm going to put him D tier. I think he's top of D tier. I don't think I just can't put Will Levis in the same category as Aaron Rodgers. That would be a crime against humanity. Next up, we have Russell Wilson, though. Russell Wilson, once again, just came over to the Steelers fighting for the starting job with Justin Fields. Russell Wilson is a lot older than Fields, so most likely Wilson is a placeholder until Fields gets a little more experience and can take over for him in a year or two. Unless Fields can take the job from him this year, which I think would be ideal for the Steelers because we need to get better right now. We haven't won a Super Bowl in like 14 years now. Since I was born, we have not won a Super Bowl. Well, we won one. But, honestly, it's going to be insane to see what happens. But I think they're on the same level, honestly. They're not the same type of players. Wilson's more of a pocket passer, as Fields is more of a scrambler. But I think they're skill-wise, I think they're really similar. So that's going to be really interesting to see who gets the job there. And next up, we got Kyler Murray, another one we haven't seen play in a while because of injuries and other things. And Murray, all-time Murray, he is a very good player, I think. We just have to see how good he will play this season, and I'm not sure. He hasn't played in a while, over a year. So that could hurt him a little bit. Honestly, since we haven't seen too much, I'm going to put him in C tier. Next up, we got Jared Goff. Jared Goff is one of those QBs where, like, he's nothing insane. He's no Mahomes. He's no Josh Allen. But he is a decent player. He can manage the team well, and he does well on the team. So I'm going to... The Lions don't need another QB. Even though Goff's not, like, a generational talent or anything, he is good enough to help the team get some wins. So I'm going to put him in B tier. Next up, we have Michael Penix Jr., another player we haven't seen play yet, so it's difficult. But he had an incredible career in college. So I think he'll do decent in the NFL, but we're not completely sure how well he will do. So since we're not sure, I think it only is right to put him in C tier. And next up we have Daniel Jones. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Giants, they need to move on from Daniel Jones, and Danny DeVito is not the answer for Daniel Jones. They are both horrible. I'm going to put Daniel Jones F tier. Now, we have Trevor Lawrence next. Trevor Lawrence, another one of those QBs where he's not insanely good yet. He could get a lot better. He's still very young. But he's not amazing, but he can manage the team and he can get them some wins and probably a playoff spot each year. I'll put him in B tier with Jared Goff. I think they're very similar skill-wise. Next up, we have Derek Carr. Okay. A very mediocre QB, I would say. He's not great, but I don't think he's on the same level as Will Levis, Drake May, Flacco, and Howell. I think he is better than them. I would put him top of C tier. I don't think we can put Williams ahead of him because we haven't seen Williams play yet. Next up, we have Tyrod Taylor, and yes, I did have to look that up because I had no idea he was on the Jets now, but apparently he is. I don't know if he's in contention for the starting role. That would be kind of insane. But Tyrod Taylor, if you look through his career, he had some really good seasons on the Bills, but those were really the only great seasons in his career. Last season, though, on the Jets, I think, was his best season since 2017. So he is on the uprise. He's 34, though. He is 34. I couldn't put him any higher than D, honestly. Next up, we have Kirk Cousins on the Falcons. Kirk Cousins, another decent player, another good player who can manage the team well, but he's nothing crazy. And honestly, I've said that about both Goff and Lawrence, and I think Cousins is the same as them. And next up, we have McCarthy. McCarthy, another rookie, so this is tough, but he's on the Vikings. He's got Justin Jefferson on the team. That'll definitely help him out a little bit. He's got an experienced coach on the team. McCarthy, honestly, bro, where do we put him? I guess C. He was picked around the same time as Williams and Penix, so I think he'll turn out similar to them. I think one of those three QBs, though, most likely Williams, are going to go insane and have a great season. That's my prediction, at least. Next up, we have Lamar. Okay, Lamar. It's either A or S tier for sure. He is one of the best scramblers in the NFL. Can't take that away from me. I'm a Steelers fan, like I said, so I don't like the Ravens and I don't like Lamar. But I've got to give him props. He's at least A tier. Does he go S tier? I don't think he's as good as Mahomes, but is he on the same? Is he at least close to being as good? I don't think he deserves S tier, honestly. I'm gonna put him A, top of A though. He's better than Tua. I will give him that. Next up, Jordan Love. Okay, Jordan Love. Honestly, a really underrated player. He has played well on the Packers when he has gotten starting position. Honestly, I'm going to put him top of B. I think he is so underrated. But next up, we have Brock Purdy, who I think he should get A tier, honestly. Brock Purdy, I mean, he has a stacked team. Don't get me wrong. Niners, on paper, are probably the best team in the NFL. If you just look at, especially on defense and offense too, actually, you got Debo, Brandon Ayuk, who might be leaving this season, so that could hurt them a little bit. But still, they've got great players. They've got a good O-line. They've got a good D-line. Defense, you think you got Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, so many great players on the Niners to help out Brock Purdy. So he's got a lot of help, but I don't think that should take away from how good he is, because I do think he is a great quarterback. Next up, we have Matt Stafford, another player similar to Cousins, Goff, in my opinion, who can manage the team well. Isn't anything insane, though. Maybe can win them a Super Bowl or two if you have a stacked team around him. So I'm going to put him B tier. And next up, we have Herbert. Honestly, Justin Herbert, since he's been drafted, how long has it been? 4 years, maybe? On the Chargers. Chargers aren't a great team. And I've got to hand it to Herbert. He's made them look a lot better than they are. They have lost a lot of good players on their team. They're not very good anymore on paper, but Herbert has made them look decent at least. And I've got to hand that to him. So I'm going to put him A tier. I think he's a great quarterback. If he was on a better team, I think it would be an excellent quarterback. Maybe on not Mahomes' level, maybe Jackson on Tua's level. Next up, we got Zach Wilson. Okay, we saw Zach Wilson on the Jets. He didn't do too great. Honestly, Zach Wilson's not a good QB. I'm gonna put him D. Aiden O'Connell is next. All right. I think this is his second year in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. He's on the Raiders now, and he's not good. He's not good at all. I'm gonna put him F tier, honestly. Geno Smith is next. Geno? Okay, I like Geno a lot. I've always liked Geno. He's gonna be fighting for the role with Sam Howell, though. I think he should have it in the bag, though. He is a B tier QB in my opinion. He is very decent. Next up we have Bo Nix. Okay, Bo Nix, the most experienced rookie in this class. He was in college for 6 years, I think. He was one of those super seniors. He's very experienced, and he did great in college on Oregon. And honestly, I think he would translate to the NFL better than most of these other rookies here. I'm going to put him just behind Williams. I don't think he's going to be as good as Williams, but I think he'll be right behind him. Jaden Daniels is next. Okay, I've always been really high on Jaden Daniels. I'm just worried. He seems like he could be very injury prone. He could get injured very easily, in my opinion, because of how, in college you can take a lot more hits. You can not run faster. You could scramble a lot more, and you could try to juke people out. But in the NFL, that could get you injured very easily. I'm worried that he might get injured this season. That's my prediction. I think he will get injured this season. But I don't think that should take away from the fact he's a very good scrambler, similar to Lamar, scrambling-wise, speed-wise. But we haven't seen him play yet, so it's tough to put him anywhere near Lamar. So I think C tier is a good spot for him. A lot of rookies up here in C tier just because we haven't seen them play yet, so we've got to put them middle of the pack. All right, we have seen Hurts play, and Hurts is a good player, but he does have a super team around him, just like Brock Purdy, so it's a little difficult to rank him. I think, though, he's definitely A tier. I don't think he's as good as Jackson, in my opinion. I think in a couple years, maybe, but honestly, the Eagles have lost a lot of great players, and it's starting to hurt them, and yeah, I don't think the Eagles are going to be as good in the next couple of years. But I do think Hurts is still a great quarterback. He's a big quarterback. He can scramble when he wants to. He's a good pocket passer too. But I think A tier is the only spot he could go here. Burrow, though. Is Burrow S tier? Is Burrow S tier? Honestly, I think he's just about as close as you can get. I think he is a better QB than Lamar as it stands right now. I have to put him S tier. He's not as good as Mahomes, but he's very close. So S tier is where Burrow is going to go. All right, Deshaun Watson. Listen, you guys know how I feel about Deshaun Watson. I do not like Deshaun Watson, not just because of, the allegations and stuff. I don't think he's a good QB. I don't think he's a good person. I'm going to put him F tier. F tier for Deshaun Watson. Next up, we got Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, okay. If I remember correctly, he tried to hurdle someone last season, and he got injured. I think he broke his leg or something similar to that. He is back, though, apparently. We'll see if he's full ready to go. He's a good player, though. He puts his body on the line, and sometimes a little too much. But I do think he still is a great player. We've seen him play. He's decent. I'm going to put him C tier, honestly. Honestly, he could have gone B tier. I think he's a great quarterback, and he has so much potential if he can just stay healthy. So I think if you are the Colts this season, your main focus should be to keep Richardson healthy and make sure he doesn't put his body on the line too much because he has so much potential. Next up, we got Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, honestly, I'm feeling B tier. He's very similar to Stafford Cousins, Lawrence Goff, as they're game managers. They are good. They keep the team together. But they're nothing crazy. They can't scramble very well. But they are good game managers, so I'm going to put him there. CJ Stroud. Okay, one of the hottest rookies. Not rookies. One of the hottest rookies last year. And he had a fantastic season. And I think it's only up from here for him, in my opinion. Especially now that you've got Stephon Diggs on your team, one of the best receivers in the NFL. I think just because it's only been 1 year, you definitely can't put him S tier. I think bottom of A tier is a good spot for CJ Stroud, though. I think he's great. 3 players left. We got Prescott, Mayfield, and Allen. Dak. Okay. Dak. Where does Dak go? Honestly, I think he is a good quarterback, but man, he's on the Cowboys, and they can't do anything in the playoffs. They usually make the playoffs, but they cannot do anything in the playoffs. We know that. Honestly, I think he should do B tier, though. I think it's more of the team around him that's bad than just him. I think he is a better QB than people make him out to be. And I'm a Steelers fan saying that. I hate the Cowboys more than anything, but I do think he is a decent quarterback. I think I've got to hand that to him. Baker Mayfield is next. Where does Baker Mayfield go? Let me remember. He was on the Browns for a while, and he did good on the Browns. Then he went to the Bucks, and he did decent. Actually, I think he was on another team in between there, but it wasn't for long. But now he's on the Bucks. I think he's decent. I think he's C tier, honestly. And we got 1 player left. Josh Allen. Is Josh Allen S tier? Is he S tier? He's definitely close. He's definitely close. Is he on the same level as Mahomes and Burrow? Honestly. And another thing, is he better than Lamar? That would be a bold take to say Allen's better than Lamar. It's pretty close. Honestly, I don't think I can put him S tier. I'm going to put him ahead of Lamar, though, in very top of A tier. Very close to getting S tier. All he needs is a great season, and he's S tier next season. But be sure to subscribe, guys, if you made it all the way through. I appreciate you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day. God bless.